The door was normal by all definitions of what a door was. Maybe older than most that Jimmy was used to, his young mind drawing comparisons to old films he saw on TV. Nothing was remarkable about it, beyond the fact it shouldn't be there. Standing in the basement, the smell of the damp earth and wood filling his nostrils, Jimmy stared for a long time at the door, sitting perfectly against the far side of the north wall. The door would lead to, well, absolutely nowhere, he concluded in his mind. The backyard was out there, and there was no extension to the house, no secret rooms. His parents never told him of any, at least. He was a bright boy, smarter than the average 10-year-old. And he knew that there simply was no way it had any reason of being there. And yet, there it stood. He blinked rapidly a few times, thinking it was simply early and his vision failing him. Yet the door persisted in existing in a place that had no rightful business being in. This is absurd, he thought to himself, walking towards the door. He approached with a sense of caution, usually reserved for his mother's cooking or a strange animal. He was scared, yet he wouldn't bring himself to admit it. After all, it was only a door. As he approached, he noticed just how old it seemed to him. The knob was clearly worn, the wood cracked in certain places from age. The hinges themselves seemed as if they needed desperate repair. All the while, Jimmy continued to think, where does the door go? The thought was becoming more of an itch in his mind. What was once an impossibility was now simply the curiosity that only young children have. The need to know with reckless sense of abandoned presence. "Jimmy, it's time for breakfast." His mother's almost shrill voice snapped him out of his thoughts, realizing his hand was poised just before the door to grip the knob. "I'll simply ask them," he thought to himself. "My parents will know what this is, and that'll be the end of that." Satisfied with knowing his parents would explain this doorway, he turned to walk back up the stairs, leading to the kitchen. He was so confident in his newfound belief that he almost didn't hear the faint whisper, "Please, help me." Jimmy froze, his back to the door and a chill now forming through his body. "Please, just let me out." He turned towards the door, his breath catching in his throat. The voice sounded young, like him. Maybe a young girl? He had watched enough TV to know that maybe it was someone in trouble. Jimmy could be the hero. He could save the... "Please, I just want to go home to my parents." That was all that Jimmy needed to hear. With a triumphant puff of his chest, he reached out to open the door and save whomever might be behind it, and be the hero. Several hours later, after the search had started, Jimmy's dad stormed down to the basement one last time. Flinging items across the room, he panicked, looking for any way his boy could have left the area. His eyes scanned the room, observing there was just no way. His wife was hysterically explaining to the police again how she watched her boy go downstairs and he never came back up. Yet there was no windows, no door except what led to the kitchen. He screamed in frustration, knowing his boy must be somewhere. As he turned towards the steps that led up, he paused. There before him was a door. One that shouldn't be there.